Hey, 6th grade, welcome to Lesson 8, Day 4. So, make sure you have your math book on page 88, 89. If you don't, pause the video and go get it. So, here's what we're going to do today. We are going to go over the example, and you can basically just watch me go over it. Now, then you are going to be working on 16, 17, and 18 on these two pages, and then you'll watch the video to see how you did. All right, so let's start with this problem here. So, remember, in your book it's already done, so I'd rather you just watch the video. It says, the marching band packed 3,060 cans of juice into boxes for a band competition, and each box holds 18 cans. How many boxes did band members have to carry? So, think about it. You have all these cans being split into groups of 18 cans. And the question wants to know how many of those groups are there. How many boxes did they have to carry? So that's how you know it's division. So in this example, they say, look how you could use the division algorithm, the traditional way, to solve this problem. So I'm going to go over that here. First off, I would set it up, 3,060 divided by 18. And I always do a little counting by 18 list. So I know the first couple, 18, 36. I'll do 36 plus 18. That's 14, so that's 54. And I'll add one more on, plus 18, it's 32, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Ooh, wait, I messed up there, sorry about that. Okay, 4 plus 8 is 12, 5, 6, 7, so that's 72. All right, so now I'm going to continue here. So first off, 18 goes into 30 one time, which is 18. 30 minus 18 is 12. Bring down the 6. So now my list doesn't go high enough, so I'm going to keep it going a little bit. So 72 plus 18, it's 10, is 90, plus 18 is 108, and I'll do one more for now. I'll do 108 plus 18, that's 16, 2 is 126. So now, let me continue. 18 goes into 126. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, which is 126. Now, at this point, when I subtract 0, instead of bringing down that 0, what I'm going and continuing, I'm going to just put that 0 up here in my quotient and get 170. So my answer is 170 boxes. All right. So now, here's your job. Your job is to do 16, 17, 18 on your own. When you're done, you'll start the video and go over your answers. Now, you can do them any way you want, but let me look at them. I'll decide what I'm going to do. I think I will do 18 partial quotient. I will do 17, the division algorithm, and I will do 16, the division algorithm. So the first two I'll do the traditional way, so the last one I'll do partial quotient. So if you want to challenge yourself and do them different ways, you could do that too. All right, pause the video, get started now. Go. All right, so let's go over number 16. In number 16, it says, a local bank donated 4,074 pencils to distribute equally among the 42 6th grade classes of the district. How many pencils did each class receive? So when you see distributed equally, that means they are splitting up those 4,074 pencils into equal groups. So what I'm going to do is 4,074 divided by 42. Now, I'm going to start a little counting by 42 list. So 42, 84. I'll add on 42 over here. 126. And I'll add on one more 42 to get started. 168. I at least have the first 4 started. So 42 does not go into 4 or 40. It's going to have to go into 407. Now, guess what? It's going to go in a lot. So the highest I ever have to go to is 9. And I know 42 times 10 is 420, right? Which would be too high. So I'm guessing it's going to be 42 times 9. So rather than continue my list, I'm just going to do 42 times 9. That's 18. 9 times 4 is 36. 37 is 378. So 42 is going to go 9 times, which is 378. Let me do some subtracting there. Borrow from the 40, make it a 39. 17 minus 8 is 9. 9 minus 7 is 2. Bring down the 4. Now 42 into 294. So I'm going to continue my list here. So 168 plus 42. It's 10, 11, it's 210. And I've got to go up to 294. Plus 42 is 252. Plus 42 is 294. So 42 goes into 294 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, which is 294. Subtract 0. My answer is 97. So how many pencils did each class receive? The answer is 97 pencils. All right. So if you made a mistake, remember, pause the video and fix your mistake. You may also go back and rewatch the video, rewind it a little bit to see where you made your mistake. All right, you ready for the next one? Page 89, I said I would do division algorithm with this one too. This says, at an amusement park, only 18 people are allowed on a ride at the same time. There are 157 people waiting in line. So how many groups of riders will there be? So what we're doing is we're taking these 157 people and we're splitting them into groups of 18 because only 18 people are allowed on a ride at a time. So our answer, how many groups, is basically how many rides can there be. So I'm going to do 157 divided by 18. Now, I know 18 times 10 is 180, right? And you can't do 10 anyway. But it's not that much higher than 157. So I'm going to work down and do 18 times 9. That's 72. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 7 is 16. Okay, so that's 162. That's still a little too high. So it's going to be 8. 18 times 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 6 is 14. All right, so 18 is going to go into 157 8 times, which is 144. Subtract, I get 13. Now here's what this means. This means that there would be 8 rides, but that remainder 13 means there would be 13 people left who didn't go on a ride. So how many groups of riders will there be? Well, you would need an extra group to take those 13 leftover people. So the answer to this one would be 9 groups of riders. Okay? Now, remember, pause the video if you made any mistakes. Last one, number 18. This one I said I would do partial quotient. It says, Route 80 runs a little over 2,900 miles across the United States from the New York City area to San Francisco. And by the way, it runs right by Milton. If you drove the entire length in 14 days, on average, how many miles would you travel per day? Circle the correct answer. So when it says on average, that means you're taking those 90 miles or 2,900 miles and splitting them up into 14 equal days. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up my division problem. Okay, so I have my division problem started. Now, remember, 14 times 1 is 14. So that means 14 times 10 is 140. So if I did 14 times 2 is 28. 14 times 20 is 280. I'll write that down. And 14 times 200 would be 2,800. And that's how I'm going to start with my partial quotient. So I'm going to say 14 is going to go 200 times, which will get me 2,800. So 14 times 200 is 2,800. Now when I subtract, I only have 100 left. So 14 into that. So I know 14 times 10 is 140. That's too big. So what if I do 14 times 5? That's 70. So I'm going to say 5 times, which is 70. When I subtract, I have 30 left. Now 14 goes into 30 2 times. Because remember, 14 times 2 is 28. So I'm going to put it 2 more times, which is 28. Subtract 2. Now my answer, when I combine my partial quotients, would be 200 plus 5 plus 2 is 207. Now I have remainder 2, but I also have 207 and 2/14, because you do your 2 and your 14ths. And that also reduces to 207 and 1/7. So let's see our answer choices. So A says a little more than 27 miles a day. No, because 207 is not a little more than 27. B says a little more than 2,070. No. C says a little more than 207 miles a day. I'd say that could be answer. And D says a little more than 27 over 10 miles per day. Now that's only like 2 miles per day. So the correct answer is C. And that is a little more than 207 miles a day. Now, Cody chose A as the correct answer. How did he get that answer? So, my guess is, I don't know. Well, maybe Cody, if he was doing the traditional division, probably didn't include that 0 when he was dividing. He probably just wrote the 2 and the 7. So that's my guess, but I don't know. Whatever you have here, your guess is going to be fine. I'll write down mine. Okay, so what I wrote is, I said maybe when Cody was dividing, he forgot the 0 in the tens place and wrote 27 instead of 207. Not sure what Cody was thinking, but that's one possibility. All right, so guess what? This was a short one. You were done with me. As always, thanks for watching.